I say, well, now, there, what's up, world? It's your boy, the Toothless Wonder, coming back with another video. I'm, I think last week I did like 4 or 5 of these joints, and then with running around and getting ready to go back into the workforce. Um, kind of been doing so. I really haven't had time to drop a video. Um, but I got a little lull in the action. And I'm like the transparent guy, like I don't know. I just try to get my insight and wisdom. And I ain't really worried about nobody using nothing against me because I'm an open book. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm an open book for the most part, with wisdom, of course, I don't be having nothing to hide. I don't have no image or ego to maintain. Now, I may not divulge information as far as like my location at a certain time or, various like things I do, business wise, you know what I'm saying, personally. One, like personal stuff is just not everybody's business. Not that anything hard or business wise, I don't need it sabotaged or stolen or, you know what I'm saying? And it just draws me back to about a month and a half ago, I went up to Boston and on the precipice of a new season. So this one's going to be in relation to just keep going. And I routinely go through this. Well, I'll get into something. And I understand, like, how would I word it? You have, like, anything you get into, you have expectations. I just try to operate with a certain standard. But more oftentimes than not, whether it be, job, relationship, whatever, outwardly outside of myself that I choose to get into, it never really pans out the way I desire. Or after I get into it and I see the inner workings of it, I actually wish I had never got into it in the first place. But, upon further inspection, like, those type of situations have given me a wisdom from experience that most people don't have as I internalize it, try to be introspective, so on and so forth. So when I went to Boston, I was on the precipice of a new season. I'm still in a new season, just not in the way that I thought. And and a lot of people talk about this in the relation of a new season or breakthrough, like all these other like weird kind of things will pop up, right? So I've been having these wild family issues, right, in relation to my beliefs as far as parenting, which I'm right, not because I feel I'm right, but because as a father I need to be right. So I do my due diligence to make sure that is the case. Um, so I'm actually, how'd I word it? I'm actually catching more hell by standing and looking back on it, it's always been the case. I catch more flack for doing the right thing or standing for what's right than I ever did when I was like blatantly doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm facing a lot of backlash, if that's what you want to call it, on multiple forces, which um it be in relation to like come off your standard and people who, not saying I never thought, but and they might not even be conscious of it. Now, nobody will address any actual real detrimental behavior. They're mad at the fact that I'm saying something about the behavior. And then because they really have nothing to say about me because I be handling my business, then they bring up the past. Again, to deflect again from let's address what you're doing. So it seemed like a situation where um it's like a situation where since you're not willing to do that, then now we'll try all these various manipulation, narcissistic tactics to basically get you to bend to us, which is not happening. So in relation to that, um, without getting to a whole bunch of particulars, they've well, you can read between the lines. They've used a third party agency against me, uh, to like hinder me or what I mean, just to be be petty, vindictive, whatever. So I had this idea of because I look at everything like warfare. So I'm gonna have to play not mental games, but understand people's mentality. Like y'all have to know not to play with me. So I was gonna exact a counter tactic. However, upon fasting, uh, and I struggled with it, and I knew, but I was in my feelings. I'm like, nah, I can't do that because it'll inflict pain. Like you don't seek vengeance. You just stand strong. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. I knew that. I just want the people to stop messing with me because I put in so much work. I'm leery of anybody, getting me off focus or subverting the mission because they don't want to strive for anything or they're comfortable in their dysfunction or whatever. And I also notice as I can, like, people, like, I'm finding it hard to talk to people and people can't talk to me. Because I'm more solution oriented. And I used to do all the same stuff, like complain about the same stuff over and over, but that wouldn't get me nowhere. So now that I've kind of evolved, like, I really don't have to explain it to them. They just kind of know. And now I'm perceiving this kind of resentment. Like, people want you to do well. They want you to grow for how it benefits them. But once you kind of go beyond that and realize who you are, or, you're just self-aware, or, you striving outside the box, which would actually end up benefiting all parties involved, then you kind of get hit with, a blacklisting, even in, like, previous organizations, like, that whether it was job-wise or where I was at in treatment, like, I just get blacklisted. But here's the tripping part. Whenever somebody finds themselves in a situation, they always come ask for my insight. But I myself have no one to, like, outside of, research on YouTube or Google or something. But I ain't got nobody I can go to, nor do I trust, to whoop. But then I had to remember that it was all these type of situations that created the resilience for me to get to this point anyway. Like, I'm looking at the whole moving forward financially, career-wise, upward mobility. But I am moving forward upward because I handled a situation that made me fearful the correct way. And they can't really do nothing to me. It's just nothing but a test. And they realize that they're just hoping I don't realize it. But I spend so much time by myself in reflection and trying to fast and, seek the ways of the highest power, or the most high rather. Like, I'll come to that epiphany as I go through the process mentally. Cause I was hot. I want to, like, honestly, I'm tired of them. I want to do something. Like, I want to flip pain. Y'all called me pain for years. Whoop. But I got to operate at a higher standard. I can, but I don't get to stoop down to nobody else's level. And if I feel like I'm about to do that, it's time for me to go. You know what I'm saying? And let y'all be ungreat while I strive for greatness. You know what I'm saying? So I've been battling that all week. You know what I'm saying? Staying strong, sticking to my guns. I'm not budging. And then when I told people I'm not budging and explained to them why, they got upset with me. But here's the thing. I was the one that was done wrong. I was the one that was disrespected. So instead of saying, oh, we won't do it no more, just forget about it. No. Any person that values themselves, don't. And I'm like, y'all saying, oh, I won't talk. Well, the reason I won't talk is, one, there's no sense in talking to nobody because nobody's trying to comprehend. And again, it's a situation where y'all want me to understand where y'all coming from. I already know where y'all coming from. But y'all not trying to understand where I'm coming from. Like, what I'm saying is delusional. But the facts are going to sound delusional people. You see what I'm saying? And it's like trying to exact control by people who lack self-control. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's deep. Like, it's all, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not budging. You know what I'm saying? No. And I was done wrong. And I said, here's a wild thing y'all keep talking about. Like, I'm dragging this on. When in reality, all I'm doing is giving back the same energy people have given to me. But then when I do it back to y'all can't handle it. But I'm supposed to accept that from y'all. I said, here's a tripping part. Y'all talking about I'm dragging this out, which I am. I said, it would all be over if somebody would just apologize. Instead of me bending and do, which is not happening. Here's a far-fetched concept. How about somebody just come to me and apologize? And it's over with. That's off the books. You know what I'm saying? That's an impossibility. And here's why it's an impossibility. Because they're not sorry. I know this. I already know this. But I ain't tripping. So I went down, like, deep in the country by the water, almost on the bay. You know what I mean? Did out there, you know what I mean? While people out there fishing, I'm doing my push-up, whoop the whoop the whoop. And, you know, in spite of all the whatever, right? Um, I had to like be like not remind myself to be thankful, but really be how grateful I am. Here's one aspect that people are trying to destroy me, and I can still have a smile on my face without any worry or concern that what they're doing is going to work. The weapon for it don't prosper. Now it'll prosper if I feed into it, or if I act out of emotion. You know what I'm saying? But I had you know, a situation that got all mixed up in the system, and they talked about I owed them like I don't know, something like $8,000, which I didn't. But it took almost a year and a half to get that rectified, and got word, but yesterday, that they wiped that off the books. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, that's a blessing right there, yo. You know what I'm saying? Now I didn't make $8,000, but I don't owe nobody no $8,000. You see what I'm saying? You know, I'm ready to start working at a new job. I really don't want to work for people, but I need to. I tried other things, and I'm gonna keep trying. But you know, the Most High has sustained me the entire time, financially, mentally, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, and I have to see it as best I can from a big picture perspective. Cause a lot of time when you're in your feelings, and we all here, we all getting our feelings. I'm just mindful enough to try to go through the process to figure out, you know what I'm saying, just process my feelings so I can keep moving forward, right? And that's just keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's mentally, because if you don't move forward mentally, it'll stunt your growth or whatever you're trying to accomplish outwardly, whether it's, you know, career wise, relationships, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, yeah, that's what's up, yeah, and more is coming. I just don't know when. I just don't know where, but it's coming. And from a spiritual perspective, I think that's part of it. Like I'm close to something. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So trying to get me off my focus, trying to get me in my feelings. I really don't know where it's come from, but I have sown a lot of seeds. I've tried so many different things. And that was another one because I got into the solar curriculum. And I believe I passed my solar test. But and it's another situation I've had to deal with where I get into stuff like training wise, and I'm not really able to use it the way I want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm done with that. I believe I passed my test, so I can get in the solar industry. But then it seemed like as of right now, it's not lining up. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, woo woo woo. But I'm routinely like used to that. So I was dealing with that at the same time. Like, damn, I did something else, and I wasted time, woo woo woo. But I didn't waste time. I accomplished something. I know I accomplished something. So that me knowing that kind of forges to my person. You know what I'm saying? I've tried so many things that didn't work, but I'm gonna keep going. And in reality, to be totally honest with you, because I've had, and then, you know, I was listening to Mark the Master. He talked about one of the signs of breakthrough, like you want to quit. And numerous times throughout, I'm like, I don't say it, woo woo, I want to quit, it's too hard. Like one section I had failed like 4 times before I actually got past that part. Um, be out totally honest with you, I truly don't believe I could quit if I wanted to. I truly don't believe I could stop going now. Like I'm too far from where I came from, but I'm not close enough to where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually closer to the end goal than I am from where I started from. Now I could go backwards quicker, but for as long as it took me to get to this point, I might well keep moving forward. What else I'm gonna do? Give up? You know what I'm saying? That's like I don't know. It's like, because I use a lot of sports analogies. It's almost like, you know, you just stop playing at you know, in the middle of the fourth quarter, but you ain't injured. You just tired, or you know what I'm saying? Like, man, how you gonna quit now, yo? You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think the Most High let me quit. I really don't. Like I was ready to do something else and da da da. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just go with what I got going on, and I'll keep adapting. I'll keep calling audibles. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep looking for opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And see, here's the thing. And I noticed this with me, right? Like most stuff I try seemingly don't work, right? But I don't need all that stuff to work. And it keeps me, you know, in the fight, right? Trying stuff and, you know, going through disappointment, whatever, whatever. So it's making me stronger and I don't realize it. But I don't need everything to work. But one thing that do work puts me on another level. Like when I came back to the town I'm in now, I was about out of options, but I did everything I could do, and it gave me a breakthrough, and it put me on another level. So then when I'm operating in the twofold breakthrough, it then gave credence to all the stuff I went through beforehand. And I noticed, because I'm pretty much by myself most times, so I'm not really engaging with people in society. But where I was working at, which was in a helping field, it showed me, not that I'm better than nobody, because that's not the case, but it showed credence and added to my faith, seeing all the things he had done before and how it was when I was in proximity of other people. I actually saw how healed I was. I actually saw, like, you know what I'm saying? How I don't need social validation. I actually saw how I can think for myself and I don't get caught up in group dynamics. I actually saw, like, my ability to critically think, which is something I've been doing, just never realized, but I've seen most people don't have that ability. I saw how the experience that he took me through made me more knowledgeable of subject matters that people have gone to school for years for. Even now, these same individuals, let's say they, went to school for psychology, but they'll ask for numerous years and have a career in the field. These people will inbox me and ask me about things pertaining to psychology. You see what I'm saying? But I ain't went to school for none of it. But I was in environments where I was learning these things unaware. Just even like now, I gotta remind myself, like, even the stuff I'm going through now, it's preparing for where I don't know I'm headed. Because I never wanted to be in this town and I never wanted to work in the field I was working in. But that's what actually gave me the breakthrough for me to do other things to solidify myself as a man. Financially, or, with my child, or in the system, get, court, woo. So I'm like, wow. So it's just, I'm just seeing it again. It's just different dynamics. So I ain't even really tripping. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my little video, man. Just telling the brothers and sisters. I mean, I ain't gonna say get out your feelings. Process your feelings. Embrace it. And keep moving forward. Whoa.